It's BCFX here, and I welcome you all to my YouTube channel. In this YouTube channel, I document my growth, my forex journey, and also I come here to share my knowledge and experience about the forex market. So you want to do well to stick around, and please subscribe so that you can be part of this family. Now, in this video, I want to talk about three things, and these three things I had to learn it the hard way. Yes. Now, in the first industry, you see different people with different belief, different characters, and this also affects us in the way that we get to learn. Some people it takes them time to learn and to understand, and why for some people it's just easy for them to just learn and understand. And you can't blame yourself for that. You have to know yourself, understand yourself, and work with yourself. Just understand how easy it is for you to learn things, how hard it is for you to learn things. If it's hard for you, you just have to keep learning until you get to understand it. It's like that for everybody. There are some things that takes us time to learn, and there are some things that's just easy for us to understand. There are a lot of things that I got to learn in the forex market easily, and there are a lot of things that I actually learned the hard way. So with all that being said, let's get into the video and discuss about these three things. The first thing here is staying off the market when I don't have a clear bias. Yeah, this has actually been something I had to learn the hard way, because anytime I come to the chart to trade, I just want to make sure that I'm placing a trade. I just want to make sure that that day I'm not just sitting on my screen and not placing a trade. I just want to make sure that I place a trade, because sometimes it can be actually frustrating when you come to your chart and you had to wait hours just so you could place trade, and unfortunately you didn't even get to place any trade that day. You didn't make money, you didn't place a trade. You get frustrated because you feel like you're on the chart and you've come to sit on the chart, you've come to spend this much time looking at the chart, so you're supposed to at least place a trade and make money. So you just get this adrenaline rush, that kind of thing. Especially, and you know how trading works. Trading is just for us to get the next dopamine hit. That's how it is. When you win a trade, you feel happy, and when you lose trade you feel sad. It's just like that, you understand? So anytime we are on our chart, we are just waiting for the next dopamine hit. When are we going to get our next winning trade? That's just what is in most of our mind. And then this makes us act in a way that we are not supposed to. We go to place trade recklessly. We just because we are not seeing our setup. Sometimes some traders don't even know what their setup is. Yeah, so they don't know what they are waiting on. It's true. They don't know what they are waiting on. Before, I don't even really know what I'm waiting on the chat. I just come to the chat and I feel like, okay, because this is this, because that is that, I have to place a trade. I just have to place a trade. I don't even really understand the strategy I was using. So it's kind of like that. And staying off when I don't have a bias or a clear bias was kind of like hard for me, because I feel like as long as the market is moving, I'm supposed to be trading. But it's not like that. When the market is moving, it doesn't mean we are always supposed to be trading, because now there are sometimes there are sometimes you don't get a trade, other people get a trade, they even get a winning trade. It doesn't mean they are better than you or something else. It's just that that's their setup. That's what they understand. But today, you don't have your own setup, and it's fine to come back the next day and get your setup if you will. Because there are sometimes in a week you don't even get your setups, and you get frustrated. I remember there are some weeks I don't even trade. And sometimes I just feel like I should be trading. Why am I not trading a week, a whole week? I'm not trading there. I'm supposed to be trading, stuff like that. And it kind of make me question myself in some ways. But truth be told, that's just how it's supposed to be. When you don't get your setup, you're not supposed to be trading. When you don't have a clear bias, you are not supposed to be trading. You are supposed to wait until this setup form itself. It's kind of hard for some people, yeah, and sometimes it makes us feel as if we are not good enough as a trader because we are not making money. But we don't want to consider all of that. We don't want to put all of that in our mind. We just want to make sure that, yeah, we have a clear bias. We don't want to trade and we don't want to trade from other people's expectation. We want to trade from what we understand in the market. We want to be locked in to that one strategy you are trading, and accept it that it's not always going to give you the setup that you are looking for. Some days, some weeks, some months, you might not have the setup you're looking for, and it's fine. You just have to accept your strategy the way it is. As long as you know that your strategy makes you money on long run, then you just have to accept it. Sometimes I don't trade every day in a week. Sometimes I might trade like once, twice, three times at most in a week. And it's okay, I'm just cool with it. When you have a clear reason to be in the market, your trade frequency reduce, and if your trade frequency reduce, your losses as well reduce and your wins to reduce. But it's just that you are now strictly on getting a good bias before you actually engage the market. So now, once you win, you are going to win well, and once you lose, you are going to lose well as well. You are going to lose proper, because what we want to do is losing properly, losing well, losing, making sure that our losses is on point. We are not losing more than we are supposed to lose. So that's what it helps. That's why getting a clear bias before even engaging the market helps. Your win rate will actually increase because you are winning more and you are losing less. The second thing I had to learn the hard way is not adjusting SL to break even real soon. Now, this means I'm not supposed to be adjusting my SL to break even immediately, or just when price just make a little move. You understand? At least price had to move for a good distance before I can actually move my SL to break even. This comes with accepting the risk. Anytime you don't accept the risk of the market or the risk of what you want to lose, you tend to move your SL real soon because you're afraid of losing. And that used to be me too. So what I did is I want to make sure that in a day, this is all I want to risk, and in a trade, this is all I want to risk. This helped me. The worst that could happen is if I get into drawdown. You understand? But I'm going to come out of it because I'm not increasing or I'm not decreasing. Rather, I'm even reducing my risk. I even tend to reduce my risk anytime I see that I'm in a bigger drawdown. So that helps me get out of the drawdown easily and slow, because you don't want to get out of the drawdown very, very fast. And you might actually lose the account trying to get out of drawdown very fast. So it's good for you to cut your risk and get out of the drawdown slow and steady. Now, accepting the risk of the market, or accepting the risk, or accepting what I'm supposed to be risking on the trade is just good, because you know that okay, for you to trade in the forex market, you must take a risk. There's no two ways about it. You just have to take risk. You just have to put your money in line. So what I actually did is, for me to cut my risk a bit, so that it doesn't really affect me anytime I take that loss, and then I accept the risk I'm cutting. Now, if I say I'm going to lose, I'm going to risk this so amount per trade, I'll look at that dollar amount and be like, okay, am I willing to take this loss and go about my day and like nothing happened? If yes, then I'll go with that risk. But if no, I'll have to still reduce. And I don't want to reduce too much that it put me in a place where I can't make money. There are some kind of risk you don't want to actually risk, but you just have to accept it because that's going to be better for your account, not because you are not willing to risk. Because there are some times when you have an account, let's say a profit account, you don't want to risk too low on that profit account, because you might be risking too low and you might be risking too low and you will not get to pass it, or you might not even get to make money with it. So you don't want to risk too much and you don't want to risk too low. So you just want the risk to be at a reasonable place, at a reasonable point where you can actually make money with it. You understand? And it's just you accepting it. You just have to accept the fact that you must lose money. You understand? And when you accept it like that, you don't move your Excel too soon or too early. You just accept it. What's the worst that could happen is for your trade to hit Excel. So you just accept it and let it be the way it is. Maybe when trade has moved in your favor for like a good or a reasonable um price, that's when you can actually say, okay, let's cut down this risk, because it's only crazy if price goes back to stop us out, and it will make no sense, because if price do stop us out at this point, that means it's going to actually like continue the opposite direction. So when it's at a logical area like that, at a reasonable area like that, you can actually reduce your SL and just allow the trade to run to full TP. Yes. The third thing we are going to discuss is managing risk properly. So that comes to risk management. I had to learn this the hard way. Risk management is actually you accepting the risk. So when it comes to risk management, is you actually want to be calculative about risk management. You don't want to risk too small, you don't want to risk too much. You just want to make sure that you are risking a reasonable amount that will actually make you money. And then risk management is not just accepting the risk, but it's also you knowing how to make sure that you manage your risks properly, you manage your losing trades properly, and you manage your winning trades properly, because you don't want to actually be cutting out of your winners real soon when it has not reached your TP. You just have to accept the fact that you are going to for 1:2 or 1:3 TP, and just let the trade run no matter what the market is doing, because you know that once you go for this risk to reward for a longer period of time, you'll be in profit um than losses. Accept your losses, accept your winners. When your winning trade is running, you just have to leave it to run full TP. And when your losing trade is running, you don't want to increase the SL, you don't want to add to the position, you just want to allow it to hit your SL and let it just be. You know, and then you cutting the risk also is not really good, except you know that this trade is actually going to be a losing trade. That's when you can actually cut down the risk a little bit, so that you just manage your losses and just allow the losses to be short. So instead of losing $50 now, you just lose about $25 or $30. That's actually okay too. But when you don't really know much about it, because the trade can actually go up onto like even $40 in against you and then still move in your direction. So you just want to let so you just want to let your SL be your SL. You don't want to increase, you don't want to reduce. Let it just hit. Because once you have a system, you have a trading system that says 1:2, 1:3 is good. All you need to do now is just make sure you get your 1:2, 1:3 more than you get your losses, and you'll be fine. Even though you can get it 50% of the time or even 40% of the time, you still be good. It will not really affect your trading, to still put you in profit. You understand? So that is just how it works. You just have to do these three things properly: staying off the market when you don't have a clear bias, not adjusting your SL to break even real soon, and managing your risk properly. This will actually help your trading, and this will actually help you grow. You just have to put this into practice and get used to it. It's hard for us to learn. Practice this for as long as possible, because once you practice it, you get okay with it. You can actually practice on demo accounts, or maybe on a funded account if you will, and this will actually help you grow. You just have to, and any money you are going to practice, if you are going to buy let me just say this: if you are going to get a funded account, make sure that you are getting that funded account not because you just want to make money. So you have to get the least profit account, because that will make you not feel the account too much if you lose it. So you practice this on it. you I did that a lot. I had to get the least profit I could and just practice on it. I'm not thinking of how to pass it or anything. I just think of like making and following my processes right and all those things. Sometimes I end up losing it because I just get too invested in it and stuff like that. And sometimes I just breach the drawdown and all those things. And that's just how it is sometimes. But you just have to know that, yeah, this account you are getting is just for you to study, just for you to practice, and just practice with it. Practice everything you wrote down on your trading plan and see how it works, and see what it puts you after a span of 30 days. Will you be profitable? Are you profitable, or are you in a losing side? So this will help you to understand if you're actually making good progress or you are not really making progress, and then you can actually adjust or tweak some things in your trading plan. Yeah. So that is all. I just want you to put these things into practice and see how your trading change. Please, if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and share this video to your loved ones. So with all that being said, see you in the next video. Peace out.